Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode on Farming Simulator 25. So last episode we went ahead and extended our farmyard considerably and really kind of prepared for the future, so that way we have all sorts of things we can kind of expand into and grow into. We also expanded our field in, field 32 I believe it was. Let me pull it up on the map. Faster than running over there. So we expanded our field 32 over here, both up and down, north and south, if that's the way the field is oriented. And we have a lot more room we can plant there. My goal is to plant either barley or, not barley, I'm sorry, because we're moving into spring, oats. So I want to plant oats and then turn those oats into flour, then turn those flour into bread. So our first, I guess I'd say mid-range goal is to start a production chain that ends up in bread, which means we're going to need the grain mill and then we're going to need a bakery. Most likely what I'll do, because it's going to take a while for us to just produce enough, as well as make enough money to buy the actual ones on the map, we'll buy the smaller farm ones like this sawmill here that costs 36,000 each, so we can get a little bit of flour being made, and then once we've made enough flour I can buy a bakery and then use that flour to make bread. And then as our production ramps up and we have a lot more fields that we can produce grain from, we can look into buying the grain mill here on the map, which I believe is like almost 300,000, so that's going to take a while to save up for that anyway. And then the bakery, which is about half that price. So that's going to be our first, I guess mid-range goal. We're going to continue clearing out the trees up here as all of that is happening and start to look for a spot to put some goats. If we can't fit the goats up here because the proportions are weird, so if the game really won't allow us to do that, what I might do is sacrifice our smallest rice paddy right over here and turn this into a goat pen maybe. I wouldn't mind having goats and chickens and eventually buffalo as well, but we need a lot of stuff to start preparing for that, especially the buffaloes since they take TMR. So I gotta have a way to harvest all that, where at least the goats is just grass, so it's a matter of just getting a mower and some way to pick up the grass, whether it's a baler or a forage wagon, and then we're good to go. Both of our greenhouses here have knocked out 3 lettuce pallets each. Let's see how close we are to a 4th one. About halfway. That's the same one. This one a little bit less. I think by the time I put these in or whatever, maybe it was later in the day. We're starting to produce rice saplings again, which is great. You know what I didn't check, and I guess I really should have checked beforehand. Maybe what I'll do is today, if I can remember when the episode ends, to run and check the honey pallet spawn, and see how much we have, and then how much we gain over the evening. So let's see how much honey we're up to right now. We're up to 107 liters. Really doesn't seem like a lot. I mean, it is on the scheme of things, but in Farming Simulator 22 you definitely produced a lot more honey. We have 1 pallet of mushrooms and another one is almost here. I think what I'll do is I'll wait a little bit before I load up the pallets and sell them, let that one kind of spawn a little bit, and then we'll go from there, because there's really no rush. Ideally, what I would love to do is stack these pallets and hold on to them and sell them in their most profitable months, which is February, which should be around 3,300. This one's only 100 short right now, so it's not too bad, but it all adds up. But right now I need the income monthly as much as we can, so I think we'll just keep selling them until we can kind of get enough going that I can start selling our pallets on the most profitable months and make the most amount of income possible. All right, let's go ahead and let's get this started on a worker, or maybe I'll do this first one and then I'll have a worker take over. I thought it was a car driving with the way that light was going. I'll have a worker take over on the next one over, and to just make it easier and faster, and even though this won't take too long, I'll still do it in a time lapse, just because that way for you guys it's maybe 15-20 seconds versus the 4 or 5 minutes it would take me to do it. So I'll be right back. just get that last little corner over there that I wasn't able to get. This is a small field, which does relatively make it, you know, pretty quick to cultivate and plant and everything. But having the ledges and cliffs on both sides does make it rough to kind of turn around and do things. Plus, this tractor is not very maneuverable. So it's not as though, you know, I can make quick turns in this. I don't know if it's the tractor itself or if it's just the way, you know, maybe my steering is set up. But it was definitely, it was hard. Alright, let's set this up on the AI worker. I don't know why they want to do so many headlands. But that's what they want to do, so that's what it's going to do. I'm not going to mess with it. Alright, I'm going to have to hop into our other tractor. And I believe I should be able to hook up to that trailer right there. Whoop, don't run over my honey. So I got this tractor because I needed something with forklifts, and it was relatively inexpensive. But the more and more I drive it, the more I do not like it. It's just so clunky. Ideally, I'd like to, I think, get a forklift for the different pallets and everything I have around the farm. I'll still keep this tractor and the front loader and the forklifts and everything else with it, just because I might be able to use it for something else occasionally. Plus, it's a second tractor around the farm, and that's just always a good thing. I believe I have some sorghum in here. I want to take it out of the silo. What I want to do real quick is replace our silo. Let me see if I have anything else in here. Prices. Looks like we're completely empty. The silo should be empty now. That's great. So let's move this out of the way. One of the mods by Omatama, the multi-fruit silo mod, is the one I'm going to be replacing it with, for a lot of reasons, to be honest, but a couple of them are the big primary ones. One, the fact that I can store more than just grains into the silo is amazing. So we want to sell this. We're going to get 29,000 back. I'm not sure how much that would cost to buy. I'll look it up right now anyway. And we're going to go over to the silos. Let's see, that one was 60, so we got a half back. But I didn't spend, that came with the map. And we're going to get the multi-fruit one that can put pretty much everything in it. And of course, this silo that we had held 150,000 liters, but the modded one holds 10 million, which is the second reason I really wanted it. With this silo, we're done with the silos. I don't need to worry about expansions. I don't need to worry about anything else. We have what we need. I think right there is good. Maybe just a little bit further back. All right. And we still have 74,000, which is great because we got back almost 30,000, which covered this. I would like to get a grain mill. We do have that sorghum. I've been kind of saving that sorghum from a contract we did, or when we could afford to get chickens, but chickens are... that's sheep. Let's see, this one is 80,000. So we're quite a ways from being able to afford it. And we need land to put it on, which is really the biggest problem right now. Is either I can put that chicken in my farmyard area here, but then I take away real estate from sheds and other productions I can put here. So I'm not really keen on doing that. Whoops. Please don't tip the trailer over. I don't want to spill all my sorghum. Alright, we'll throw this back into here, and while that's happening, so we have one cultivating, which I will do. We have some deadwood, which I'm not really keen on. Plowing, which takes forever. It's a small map, so hopefully it won't be too bad. Rock removal, which I won't do, because again, there's nowhere to sell the rock, though I guess, you know, you just go break the rock up real quick and be done. It's a quick $3,000, so maybe. Wood transport? Possibly. Maybe on areas like this, which is kind of on the road, I'll do it. Especially this one's close to my farm. But what I don't want to do, let's see if one of them are like this. Well, this is, where's this at? Oh, this is another on the road. Okay. That's the one I looked at. Everything goes to the sawmill, it looks like. So stuff like this, I'm concerned about doing that are kind of up on these dirt roads, especially up in the north part of the map by 55, 58. You know, like this one here. These would be a pain. I've watched some videos where people did some of these, and the dirt roads are tiny. The slopes are steep. You know, getting the truck up there, loading everything looks brutal. And another bad area is right by the temple here too. So I won't ever really be doing any of those. I might do some of the ones closer, just to kind of break up the monotony of some of the contracts that I do. But at the same time, you know, we need income as much as we can. My goal by the end of this episode is to purchase another plot of land. These ones here, 29 is 265. I think that's a little too far away from what we can do. 182, maybe, but I'm kind of doubting it. And the only reason I say that is there really aren't a lot of contracts to kind of crank out for 33, but that one's definitely on the list of ones I'd like to buy. 34 is just way too damn expensive, almost $400,000 for that. So the only other piece of farmland I have that's adjacent to mine, I have 27 here and 25 is adjacent to that, and that's 113. That's definitely within striking range. That one is looking pretty good. Plus it opens up field 26, 24, and 49, so I can expand in that direction pretty quickly. I still would like to get 29 and 33 as well at some point. But we need the cheapest route to go. I just need land. I need to be able to plant, you know, grains on it if I want to go down the production route for the bakery and start making bread. Eventually, I wouldn't mind trying to get everything and, you know, make some cakes too, but that's going to be way down the road because that's a lot of production. Below that, the chocolate and everything else. What does it take to make a cake? Let's see. The bakery. If I want to make a cake, we would need a grain mill. We would need a sugar mill. We would need a dairy. We would need chickens. A dairy again to make butter and strawberries. So, you know, I'd have to give up some of my lettuce production to make some strawberries. Or buy another greenhouse. So cakes are way down the road. But my ultimate goal is to purchase all of the productions and produce something from all of them on a regular basis, as well as owning every plot of land here. I don't know if I'll own all the wooded plot of lands. I don't really think that's necessary, but definitely all the fields. That I think is necessary. 68 is all of that? The train yard, everything? Even the, what is this? The animal dealer. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. But definitely all the fields. I want to own all the fields. So that's going to be the long-term goal. And we'll just start progressing slowly to that. It has to be slowly because we don't make enough money yet. Though I do expect at some point we'll hit a tipping point and we'll start really being able to pull in quite a bit of money, which will make expanding easier, but then it'll make keeping up with the expansion a lot harder. I can only imagine how difficult it would be to cultivate every field and do everything you need in order to, get something off of it. Plus, of course, another major goal from everything I've been seeing is getting the temple built. And from what I've been able to see on other people's videos and some of the comments that they've made in the comment section, is it takes 8.5 years of game time for the temple to actually use all the resources that you put into it. So not only do you have to get all the planks, the long planks, the wood beams, the bricks, cement bags, and roof tiles, it still needs 8.5 years of game time in order to process all of that. Which is pretty considerable. So I'm not going to be trying to rush that because there's just really no point. I mean, it'd be nice, but we started with zero money, so there's no easy way for me to buy some land and then throw down the cement factory and the rock crusher to kind of get that going. But at some point, we'll be able to turn one of these fields into a production yard, and I can start cranking that out, and we'll start just filling that up. So that'll be, the long-term goal. Our short-term goal, we just need to make money and expand. Medium goal, we need to get that bakery and the grain mill, and we can rock and roll. And then once the bakery is going along pretty well, we'll look at another production chain. Maybe canning or carpentry or oil mill or something like that. Spinnery, sugar mill. We have a lot of different kind of ways to go, and they'll give us some good midterm goals to progress. Okay, I hopped back out before I actually picked the contract. See, I got on a tangent. Let's do, I'm going to grab the plowing one first. I'm going to borrow the items. And let's head over to that map. I really do need to bring home my new seeder. Maybe I'll do that today as well. I do have the room to put it in now. I don't have any sheds or anything, but at least I can hang out on the farmyard somewhere. I'm going to hook up this plow, and this is definitely a worker job because, in all honesty, this is one of my least favorite things to do. Though I do believe I downloaded a plow. Let me check real quick. Wow, a little bit of lag and jumping up and down there. I did. I got the Lizard MT ones. This mod is amazing. I'm gonna click on it real quick. I won't buy it, but it's got this one is the 6 meter working width, 12 meter working width. You do need a 350 horsepower, engine for that. 320, 260. So I don't have any tractors that can do that. But the fact that you can eventually plow through 12 meters and relatively pretty quickly and nice and straight makes it pretty easy. Now I am curious what kind of tractor, it would obviously be large, would have a 360. Oh, pretty much all of them. We'll go up to 4 something. That's great. So all I really need to do is save up enough money to get a large tractor and pretty much pull anything on the map. I don't need any of the crazy ones. 778 horsepower. Wow. What do you actually need that for? That's insane. I mean, more power is good, but that's insane. Okay. Oops. Once again, tangent. Let's create a job. Oh, nice. This one is right over there. Take our target position, click on the little target reticle. I'm not really sure what that is. Click on it, click a direction, press Z, start the job, and it's going to go on its own. Which is great. Next thing I need to do is pick one for me. And I think cultivating is probably going to be my best bet. It's decent money. I don't mind cultivating. It's actually, especially with their equipment, it's stronger, faster. Well, it looks like they're going to give me my own equipment, just a different color. So it won't be stronger, faster, it'll just be what I'm used to. And then maybe a wood transport down the road. Or I could go cheesy. No, I don't want to go cheesy and just do the dead wood and just chop them down and move on. Alright, we'll take the cultivating one for sure. We'll borrow because mine is being used. We'll head over there. So this is just another version of our Agco White tractor. So there shouldn't be really anything too crazy about this one. Alright, and we need to head to field 47, which is all the way up there. So I see to stay on this road here. Alright, to make it pretty simple, what I'll do is I'll just do a time lapse from here. So that way you can see me drive over there, knock out that field real quick, and we will move on. Welcome back. We are almost done with this field. Just one more row left. And I gotta admit, from doing the my small tiny little rice field to doing this back to back, working on these really big fields with nice straight lines is really peaceful. Just turn, let the GPS do its thing, and I can just ponder some things as it's going. One of the things that I was curious about was, since I want to go down the rabbit hole of bakery to, to grain flour to bakery to bread, basically, I'm going to need to be planting and harvesting a lot of grains. So that way I have enough to be able to supply the grain mill as well as supply a bakery. Which means I really should be looking into getting the windrower. Let me pull off to the side real quick. The Macdon windrower, which is, let's see, where's the harvesters? So the Macdon itself is $135,000, and I'll have to purchase it as well as its header, which is another $97,000. So we're looking at 235 basically right there. But I would also have to purchase a header. Is it going to be a specialty headers maybe? Here it is. Okay, so we would need the MacDon PW8 for 52,000. So that goes on the harvester so it can pick up the windrows and actually thresh the grains from the straw. So we're looking at, geez, man, almost 300,000 just for that. That's quite a bit, but it will increase the yield from the grain by, I believe, 25%, and that is just fantastic. So that way I can get more grain from every field I plant, which means more flour, which means that it's more, going into the bakery, produce more bread. While we are up here, we're going to head over to the train station and grab a collectible. We have to earn a lot of money, I'm thinking. There's quite a bit that we need to get. I think the train station is just past the animal dealer here. On top of that, I need to continue saving money to continue to purchase land that I can plant on, as well as put productions on, as well as I can use for resources. So a lot of it's really going to depend on how quickly I can end up generating income and what I can do with it. Alright, so here's this house right here next to the train entrance, and just behind it we have our first collectible for the day. That is a nice additional $10,000. Now we're going to do something that you're not really supposed to do, but we're going to do it anyway. And part of the reason is because it's a contract tractor. So I'm going to drive it along these tracks until we get to our collectible that's up here. And then I can just turn the contract in and it gets automatically sent back, and I don't have to drive it or drop it off anywhere like I would with my own. The train only goes in one direction, so I bet if I ride on these train tracks that I don't have to worry about the train. There's our grain elevator right there for using the train. I've seen and I've done grain in the past where you drop it on the train and send it out, but I noticed that, sending it out to the Gold Coast is probably the most profitable choice for most of the produce or pallets. But I've never actually done pallets on the train before, so I don't know how, where to drop it off, or do I break it apart, or do I have to look into that? I actually am curious about that. Hello, train. See, I'm glad I switched to the other train tracks. That could have been really bad. I bet I'm getting reported as we speak. Alright, I know it's coming up, but it's not this one. So it must be over the next street that we cross. But here is our second collectible. So the way I always remembered is it's over one of these streets. Let me actually hop on the map and I'll show you. We are on the train tracks and we're over the street just before the city. And it's going to be right here hiding. Alright, we got 13 more to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn in my completed contract and make 5,600 from it. Awesome. And the tractor is gone. That is great. So what I'll do is I'll hop back to our farm on one of our tractors. This is not quite as done as I would have liked, so let me finish off all the little spots that I missed. I've noticed since the last update that the AI worker seems to miss a little bit more than what it did before. I don't know if the way it's reading the boundaries is a little bit different. I'm not sure. The only other thing I've noticed since the last update is my graphics are just a little bit off, and I can't tell what's going on. Things just get a little bit blurrier before, textures render in, whereas before that wasn't happening. I don't know, maybe they upgraded something and my computer can't really handle it, so maybe that's what's causing that. Alright, now that is done a much better job. So for now, I think I'm just going to park these things against the cliff wall. We'll let them kind of get out of the way a little bit, and gives them a place to at least park where I can access them quickly. Oops, as I run it into a little bit of rock. Alright, so all 3 of my rice fields are cultivated. It's not until April, I believe, that I can actually plant the rice. I have... looks like... So I have 7 pallets plus another one being made over there. That should be enough, I hope. By the time it's time to plant, I'll have more, so that's not a big deal. January, this is January now. Let me see, when can I plant? Is it March? Oats, yeah, so I have to wait until March to plant that field there. Alright, we're up to 100,000 already. We haven't even sold any pallets yet, so I think that's doing pretty darn good so far. Let's park this here for now. And as much as I would like to get chickens right away, which is kind of what I've been saving that sorghum from, or for, I should say. Here, we got 6,600 sorghum at the moment, 6,600 liters of sorghum. But I need more to put the chickens. And I'm not quite ready yet to give up farmland for it, or even my farmyard here. So I'm not really sure. We've got canola planted in this field here, which means at some point I'll have to get one of the small oil mills just to start cranking through that. I mean, I could sell it off the field, but I'd rather turn it into a production. I should get rid of this cedar here. It's not going to be worth a lot of money. Actually, I will do that. And what I'll do is I'll drive it down to the dealership, sell it there for a little bit more, and pick up the other cedar while I'm there. So to make it pretty quick, what I'll do is I'll just do a jump cut. I'm going to grab that, sell it, come back, park the cedar, and then we'll hop back and start doing some stuff. I'll see you when I get back. Here we are back at the farm. I went ahead and filled up the new cedar with, well, seeds and fertilizer. And unfortunately that dropped the money that we had, even the little bit of profit we made from selling that old cedar. But it's there, it's ready to rock and roll when it's time to work. I'm gonna go ahead and start loading pallets and I guess go sell some stuff. And that should give us a pretty decent amount of income. And I think we'll be able to buy our next plot of land. We'll see what we end up buying after we get back from selling everything. I'm gonna go ahead and do this on a time lapse because, well, loading pallets takes a long time. That can be really finicky, and if it's in a time lapse, you know, I don't feel so bad every time I mess up. When it's not on a time lapse, I really feel like, you know, under the gun, under pressure. So I'll see you when we get back from selling everything. Here we are at the farmer's market. We're about to drop all of these off and see how much we make today. What I would like to do is, before we drive off, I kind of want to run through here and see what it looks like to see some of the stuff stocked up. Though to be perfectly fair, we're only dropping off mushrooms and lettuce, but I still kind of want to see it. Nice, that was $37,500. We got some mushrooms here, but we'll need to produce a lot more to fill up everything. More mushrooms. More mushrooms. Mushrooms, and looks like mushrooms back there. More mushrooms. So far, all I'm seeing on here is just the mushrooms. The lettuce is definitely being sold here, but it's not filling up any of these production type areas or sell areas. So I think I will definitely, if I really want to fill them up, I'm going to have to do the, what is it, the peppers. I'm not sure what that is. Garlic and spring onions. Maybe that's a Napa cabbage? I'm not sure. At some point I would like to do it though. Alright, I'll see you guys when we get to... Oh, I'm gonna make it right. I'll see you guys when we get to the temple real quick, and then I'll show you the other sale. Here we are at the temple. Let's go ahead and drop these off. I don't think I've sold enough planks at all, but I think 12,000 liters of regular planks is the most it can store. That's going to be a while for me. We're only up to 2,000 in there. Though from what I've seen, they may have patched it in so it won't take extra anymore. There's an additional 21,000 there. That's great. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and jump cut, and I'll see you back at the farm. Well, we made it back to the farm. And all that's really left to do is take a good look at what kind of land we want to get. Before we look at the land, let's look at the sales page first and see if there's anything on there that we just have to have. Because that would affect everything dramatically. Alright, let's see what's on sale. Just a wrapper. Don't really need it or want it. I would much prefer the modded round baler that I got. Show it to you real quick. This one right here, it's 128,000. I hope it goes on sale. If not, we'll have to pay the full price for it at some point. But the reason I really want this one is it can do round bales anywhere from 125 centimeters all the way up to 180. And it can also wrap bales anywhere from 125 to 150. Plus, I can turn the wrapping off, so if I want to do round baled grass without wrapping it into silage, I can do that. So for me, this was all sorts of win on this. So, like I said, I'll cross my fingers and hope it goes into the sale at some point. But until then, there's nothing on the sales that we even remotely need. Alright, in that case, let's take a look at some land. And contracts, once again, is nothing but deadwood, rock removal, and wood transport. I might do some of the wood transport at some point, but at least not right now. That $11,000 one is nice, but where is it at? It's up in the hills here. You really don't have an interest in doing that. Well, actually, it's by the temple. I wonder if it's on the freeway. Still. Okay. It's actually pretty interesting because I've realized, in the beginning from August to November, I relied on contracts almost exclusively to make any money. We just weren't making any on our farm. And now that we moved into December and January, possibly even February, I'm not sure, there's really almost no contracts available. So I was like, oh wow, the winter season really is kind of a tough time. Ideally down the road, I'll be able to stockpile plenty of pallets from our productions, and then during the winter we'll obviously sell it, as some of the highest prices are during January, February, maybe even December. But for now, it's, we did a little bit of contracts, but not much. Okay, we have 159,000. So we cannot afford field 25. We cannot afford field 33. And we're pretty close to that. That's not bad. But we can definitely, I believe, afford field 25. I want to visit it first, make sure there's what's planted in it. It's 100% fertilized. That is awesome. It does need lime. I still do not have a lime spreader yet. There's nothing planted in here, so that's kind of nice because, well, I can plant what I'd like to plant. So this will be the one we get. We're going to go ahead and buy it right now. That's great. We've expanded yet again. All that's left to do is lime, and I'm thinking I need to lime quite a few of these, to be honest. I need to lime 32 and 25. So 2 of them. I will definitely need to buy something that does that. 27 and 28 I need to roll, but the canola is already growing, so that ship has sailed. I don't have any weeds. Oh well, 27, 28 needs to be limed as well, but they'll have to be after I harvest. One of the things I did get, and I will end up replacing my little fertilizer spreader with a modded one that I found. If I can find it. That went too low. Here it is, fertilizer spreaders. So this Kuhn Axis 402 right here does fertilizing and lime. It does not have a huge container. It doesn't really hold very much. For example, the Bredal holds 9,000 to 14,000 liters, so you can get a lot done on big fields. This one only holds up to 3,200 liters, or 3,200 liters, but its work width is 42 meters, compared to the 12 to 18 meters for the Bredal big one. So I think I'd much rather just kind of keep refilling and use this. It does also, I won't buy it today. Well, no, I won't buy it today. I don't quite need it yet. But it also has the ability to have a trailer hitch on the back. So I can buy this and have a trailer behind it that kind of holds some lime, on pallets, and then just keep refilling it as I need it. Plus, of course, it has colors and everything, and I really do like that. So if we were to buy it fully extended, which means it would hold 3,200 liters. I don't know what transport wheels that's for. We don't really need that. That's excess. Mud guards look cool, but it's excess. Cover would probably be nice to have, and then the colors. So this will definitely be a purchase down the road, or maybe in the next episode, because again, I still need to spread lime on our fields. Or maybe I'll just buy it now, since we're here. I really like the Massey Ferguson red, so that's kind of what we're going for. And cover color, we'll do a dark gray. I think that looks good. And that would be 21,450. And before I can change my mind, we're just going to do it. And that's that. We own it. We have it. Cool. Alright, no need to run all the way back. We checked the sales page. Nothing on there. We bought some new land today, so that's always a great thing. Let's take a quick look at our finances and see how we did for the month. Alright, we spent $21,450 on new vehicles. We know exactly where that went because we just saw it. We sold vehicles for $1,975. That was that old Cedar that we had. We spent $30,000 on construction today, which was the new silo. We sold the old silo and almost, for basically $29,000 and a half. So that almost covered the cost of that. We spent $113,000, almost $114,000 on new land. Again, well worth it. Expansion is great. Production cost is up to $107 for right now. I think until we ramp all the way back up, we won't really see what we're at for the month, but last month was $151. We'll see what this ends up being once we start the next episode. Sold products for $59,000, which is a great uptick from $41,000 of last month. We bought some seeds. We bought some fertilizer. I went ahead and I filled that new Cedar when I pulled it up, so I figured might as well just fill it up before we bring it up. So that's kind of where that went, but that'll get used and I don't mind. we had $11,606 in contracts, which is by far the lowest we've ever had, especially compared to November's $133,000. But it's the winter. We got to figure out ways to kind of, make it through the winter. We spent $769 on wage payments for the workers. Not bad. Again, a fraction of the cost of what we made. And we made $20,000 for getting 2 collectibles. So overall for the month, we're down $50,000 comparative to where we were, but we still got money in the bank, and I think we're doing pretty good. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.